So you're playing Genshin, you do a 10 pull, and you get 5-star Citlali, the newest granny in all of Genshin. Now what do you get with Citlali besides the person that loves Miko's light novels? Well, Citlali is a Catalyst-wielding cryo user who wants to use the same artifact set as Xilonen. And in this video, we're going to talk about what to do whenever you have Citlali and Xilonen in a team together. Now, normally this is where I would do an ad read. However, at this moment, I am not doing ad reads. So follow the account, like, subscribe, follow, all of that fun stuff. My camera does not want to stay focused today. Oh well, I'm leaving that in. So for this video, we're going to be talking about Citlali in a team with Xilonen and kind of what to do because Xilonen and Citlali both want the same artifact set, being Cinder City. But they both can't have it because if we look at Cinder City here through all of this text at the very end, it says that the effects from the same artifact set with the same name will not stack, meaning that only one of them can use this artifact set, not both of them if they're in the same team. So real quick, we're going to talk about what Citlali does. Now, Citlali, in a sense, is a shielder and a pyro and hydro shredder, meaning she's going to be good for Melt and Freeze teams, specifically Melt in this video, as we have Arlecchino, Citlali, I'm not even on a green screen. Arlecchino, Citlali, Xilonen, and Benny in the same team together. Now, we don't necessarily care about her normal attacks. If you hold down spacebar, she will float up, and then she does the same thing as the Owl and Natlet. What we do care about is going to be her skill and her burst. Now, her skill is going to be where we get the shield. If we use the skill, it is going to do an instance of cryo damage, but it is going to partially fill her Night Souls gauge over on the side here. Once this Night Souls gauge is over 50, it is going to have another effect where one of her stuffed animals is going to kind of swing around on the field whenever you swap off to another character. It still saves, dealing cryo damage. This is really, really good because it has a lot of cryo damage, meaning that Arlecchino can cause melt reactions. And the shield is also great because Arlecchino can't really be healed unless you do her burst. So having a shield is great, and the shield is going to scale with Citlali's elemental mastery. So that's kind of a hint as to how we want to build her. Now, if we use her burst, she is going to do a very large instance of cryo damage, but it is also going to give her Night Souls Blessings points, meaning that what we can do is we can use her skill and then follow it up with her burst to tip it over the halfway point to start the off-field cryo application. So we do want to make sure that we are able to use her burst off of cooldown. Now you might think, oh cool, I'll just throw some energy recharge on her with a weapon or in sands. No, you still want EM in the weapon and the sands so that way you can have a really strong shield. But that's why we use Cinder City. If we look at Cinder City on the 2-piece, it is going to give energy to the equipping character if a Night Souls burst occurs. Now, what is a Night Souls burst? Any instance of damage, as long as you have a Natlan character in your party. Now, the more Natlan characters that you have, the more often this Night Souls burst can occur, and it's going to have this on-screen effect, right? This is how you know a Night Souls burst has occurred. So this is going to give energy to Citlali, helping decrease the ER investment that you need to put on her, meaning that we can put more EM in her. Now the 4-piece is going to give a damage bonus with a specific reaction. So in this rate, if she causes a melt reaction, it is going to give a damage bonus over to the 2 elements that caused it, being pyro and cryo. So as you can see here, Arlecchino has like 86 pyro damage bonus. Once we've done this, she goes up to like 126, right? So we're able to give her even more pyro damage bonus on top of what she already has. Now, this artifact set is also the standard artifact set for Xilonen because we can cause the elemental reaction, right? We can crystallize pyro in this instance. So that means that we can get the increase in the damage buff, and Xilonen shreds resistances too. So if we want this to be on Citlali so that way we can avoid having to put ER investment into her, what would we run on Xilonen? Well, the answer is Archaic Petra.
So I also want to interject something. I posted the short version of this video first instead of doing it how I normally do. And on TikTok, I got a lot of comments talking about Instructor Set on Xilonen is also really, really good. And I can definitely see why. So I wanted to throw something in real quick that you can also use Instructor Set on Xilonen to get an EM buff to your whole team. So that way somebody like Arlecchino can do more damage to the melts. So that is going to be a second option to use just a full defense instructor set. So if you're getting these while you're farming for like level up material, then just save them, keep them, because Xilonen can definitely use this as well.
Well, the answer is Archaic Petra. It's going to be really, really good. We don't care too much about the 2-piece. The 4-piece is really good because once you've caused a crystallized reaction and picked up that shield, you're going to get even more damage bonus of that element. So if we do that with Arlecchino, and then we do everything with Citlali, you can see we're up to like 150%, 160 pyro damage bonus over on Arlecchino, which is crazy to have that onto Arlecchino. And the enemies are going to be shredded their defenses of pyro from Xilonen's kit and Citlali's kit. So this is really, really good. This is a very hyper carry Arlecchino team. Now, of course, we would still be doing defense all on Xilonen and EM all on Citlali. Now, since this is Citlali's video, let's look at some weapons real quick. Citlali's signature is going to be phenomenal because it is going to give a ton of elemental mastery in the main stats and in the passive, and it's also going to give a damage bonus to the character affected by the shield, right? So this is really, really good for her. If you don't have her signature, you can do something like Sacrificial Fragment, which is going to be good. It's going to give you less EM, but it is also going to allow you to reset your skill cooldown so you can use it twice. So even if you don't have the ER to be able to use her burst off cooldown, you can still use her skill twice, trigger it, have her burst ready to go for the next time, right? So this can also be a really, really good option if you don't have either of these two weapons. Now, like I said, this team is very much an Arlecchino hyper carry, where Benny is going to be buffing Arlecchino, Xilonen is going to be shredding resistances and buffing Arlecchino, and Citlali is going to be shredding resistances and buffing Arlecchino. Everything going over to Arlecchino so that way she can be our main damage dealer on field, doing a ton of melt reactions with Citlali's off-field cryo application. And before Citlali, you almost had to run 2 cryo characters in a team with Arlecchino, so that way she could cause consistent melt reactions. Citlali has enough cryo application to kind of be the sole cryo applicator on the team as long as you can use her burst off of cooldown. That is that caveat. Also, remember that whenever you're using her skill, you're leaving her on the field long enough to absorb the incoming cryo energy before you swap her off. That is something that you do have to make sure that you do, because we're purposefully not investing a ton of ER into her. So she has to be able to catch that incoming energy. Now, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Cookie is green here. I need to re-dye mine, and I'll see you in the next one.